They want to merge man with machine. Alright, and it's all pretty much a part of biblical prophecy, man. The mark of the beast spoken of in Revelation 13 and 16. And if you're not privy to this information, this knowledge, then how are you going to be stable in these last days? If you don't know what the mark of the beast is, how are you going to be stable? How are you going to know what to do during that time? How are you going to know to refrain from taking that if you don't believe that it's the mark of the beast? If you don't have the fear of the Lord within you to know what's going to happen to you if you do take the MOTB. You see? And this is why guys that are adding and taking away from that, such an important part of biblical prophecy, such as the mark of the beast, telling you that it's sleeping with white women or this and that, that's nothing but seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, man. And if the blind leadeth the blind, they shall both fall into the ditch. Okay? And that's what the scriptures say. And this is why we have to be in the know, because there's a judgment that's going to come for actually taking the mark of the beast. Alright? Your badge of servitude, if you will, from the devil. And the scripture says, never trust thine enemy. See, they presented it to the people like this chip is like, oh, it's so convenient. They started with the pets. You know, it's so convenient. You can put these chips inside of your pets. You know, you'll always be able to know where they are and this and that. All right. Again, that's called auto abkeo, man. Okay. It's a problem for you to not know where your pet is. Oh, someone just stole your pets and you don't know where they are. That's my family member. That's my household pet. All right. Well, why stop there? Why don't we start injecting it into humans? Why don't we start putting them into human beings, man? Why don't we start putting it in people? But there's a catch. See, now Esau's got you. Okay? That's the mark of the beast. Now you're declaring. Now he's going to be able to declare whether you are going to be able to buy or sell with that same device. Okay? And that's what the scripture says in Revelation 3 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that have it. The mark. Okay? So at first they're going to present it to, you know, to like it's a great benefit to your life. But that's why the scripture says never trust thine enemy. Psalms 55 and 21 says the words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. This man has a hidden agenda, man. And you know what? That's being exposed. All right? Through the prophets. All right? Starting with the apostles and the elders on down. Blowing the lid off of his plans, man. And he doesn't like it. And that's why ultimately, man, you know, we're going to enter a time of the famine of the hearing of the word. Remember, Jay Rockefeller, he came out and said, look, the internet was the worst thing ever created, man. Because why? They're being exposed. I believe it was Jay Rockefeller. All right, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but they're being exposed, man. You know, going on the YouTube, breaking down these prophecies, telling our people who we really are, outlining the biblical prophecies, telling this man that he's going down. See, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And you can't tell me that this isn't a kingdom of war, evil, and pestilence, man. That's Jeremiah 28 and 8. So the prophets are back on the scene, cursing out this kingdom of war, evil, and pestilence, man. And how can this kingdom not be full of evil when it's the wicked that's been given the power of the earth? That's why you got alphabet people doing cartwheels on the street. That's why you got pride marches up and down in the street. That's why you got all out wickedness. You got Jake learning, you know, pretty much following after the ways of the heathen, committing adultery, right? Indulging in somewhat so-called delicacies. Eating lobster, shrimp. You know? And it's nothing but, that's an abominable lifestyle, man. And this is what I'm saying. That's why the scriptures speak about righteous Lot and how he was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. So this kingdom is wicked, bro. Everything that surrounds us is nothing but wickedness out here. And that's why the scripture says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, for it is polluted. Right? And it will destroy you even with a sore destruction. This place is polluted. This is why, Jake, get your head out the gutter, man. This place ain't it. The scriptures tell us in Hebrews 13 and 14, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. This ain't it, Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. This ain't it. Alright? We need saving. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, man. We're still in captivity, man. And that's why, hey, again, this man's kingdom has to go down. Then cometh the end, right? Right? When Yahweh Shai, he's going to put down all rule and all authority, for he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. 1 Corinthians 15 and 24 goes into that. So Yahweh Shai is coming back to put all enemies under his feet. He's coming back to fill the places with the dead bodies, like the scripture says in Psalms 110, verse 5. Or Isaiah 66 and 15 says, the slain of the Lord shall be many. Behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, right? And that's how the Lord's coming back, with them concentrated laser beams, man. Concentrated fire. To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Right? Loosely paraphrasing. The slain of the Lord shall be many, man. Alright? The slain of the Lord. So the Lord is going to be killing a lot of people. That's why the scripture says in Amos 5 and 18, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. So what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it. The Lord is going to be putting a lot of people down. Okay, Luke 19 and 27 says, but those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. These are the words of the Holy Scriptures, man, that we're reading, that I'm quoting out of here, that we always read. Alright, so we ain't out here prophesying smooth things, lies and deceits unto you people out here. Okay, the scripture says, look, prophesy unto the wind. The scriptures say whether they will hear and whether they will forbear, man. Okay, we have piped unto you and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you and ye have not lamented. Within this book is written lamentations, mournings and woes, man. A lot of people don't have no business picking up the scriptures, man. Okay, like these snake oil salesmen, right? These pork chop eating pastors, man, that only care about you emptying your wallet into their collection plates. Alright? Prophesying lies and deceits, smooth things unto you. They don't want to tell you about the truth of the lamentations, mournings and woes of the scriptures. Alright? Because ultimately, man, they love this kingdom. They want it to keep going on because they got a corruptible crown. They're under a 501c3 tax exempt status, man, where they just make that money. And the scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil. So what are they doing for that love of money? They're comfortable with telling you smooth things. They're comfortable with telling you lies and deceits because it means that they're getting that money. Because they're in love. You can't serve two masters. For either you will serve God or mammon. For either you will love the one and hate the other. The Lord said that, man. Alright? Whose mouths must be stopped. Who teach for filthy lucre, right? That's in Titus. The book of Titus 1 and 11, I believe it is. Alright? There are many unruly and vain talkers, man, whose mouths must be stopped. And the Lord is going to stop them. You wait and see, man. When this cometh to pass, and lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. Alright, so hey, with that, man, I had to do a part 2 to this because my phone overheated. I just cranked the aircon to full blast just to cool the phone down, because sometimes that happens. But that's all good, man. Hey, I just put this up as a part 2, man. And Lord willing, this was an edifying video. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect.